So if anyone you have not read the brief, so I'll just go through a bit of the brief with you all. So basically the purpose for PPL2 is for you to understand the concept of road pavement design technique, and also you combine some of the knowledge in other topics, okay, especially like geometric and cut and fill as well. But nevertheless, you already have your assignment and also your PPL1. So your task description is this. I won't elaborate further on that on the top first sentences. Okay, so now is on the second sentence. Okay, the second paragraph says that assuming you have undertaken the geometric design component for the road package that your company has been signed for, in stage 2, your company is required to propose either flexible or rigid pavement design according to the following standards. So you have two standards. One is the flexible pavement design, which is based on JKR manual for the structural design of flexible pavement, ATJ 585 in the AN 2013. Have I passed to you this one? Belum kah? Ada kah belum? Dah kah belum? Kalau belum, I'll put it on ELIP lah. Maybe I've forgotten about it. Okay, never mind. I'll post it up. I'll check again the ELIP. Kalau tak ada, please put in the chat if you cannot find it in ELIP, if you don't have it yet. So I will put this up. And for the rigid pavement design, right, you are using, basically you are using the notes that I shared with you, okay, the rigid pavement. So you can use the notes as well as the equations for your calculation. Okay, so what happened is that, okay, this is the main statement. Main statement. This is not part of the. Some of your friends ask me whether you only choose design for flexible only or rigid only. So what you do is actually this is the actual brief lah. Okay, your task description is here. So the task description will be your design proposal should be in Word file and also PDF file with maximum 30 pages, excluding cover, TOC, table of content, appendix, and references. Okay, so try to not more than 30 pages. Okay, if you need 30 pages, then no choice, right? Okay, so this is the guideline for you for the preparation. Is first of all, of course, the introduction, right, of your project. Is include the issues, objectives of the project. So to examine the project brief of the new platform road design, describe the designs that it use, report your design parameters. Okay, report your design parameters is this one. Okay, this is your design, so you have to come out with your report on that. And then after that, part 2, traffic data as well. So based on the design, you use Malaysian Standard Manual to undertake this task. Use the result for both the flexible and rigid pavement and summarize your design and the calculation. So what happened is that although it is mentioned here is you are required to propose either flexible or rigid, okay, but you must make sure that you design for both flexible and rigid pavement. And at the end or in the conclusion later on, you have to mention, okay, which design that your company or your group is proposing, whether it's flexible pavement or rigid pavement. And please provide the justification. What makes you choose flexible pavement as compared to rigid pavement? What makes you choose rigid pavement as compared to flexible pavement, right? So all this must be justified, and one of the way to justify it is based on your calculation, okay? Based on your design that is given to you. Okay? So this is the most important part, which is part 4. Actually it's part 3 lah. Sorry for the mistake. And what you do is you need to do, each one of you need to do one flexible and one rigid. Okay, two designs as a comparison. So you must have one flexible and one rigid pavement. Okay, so your assumption, this is flexible. Sorry, this is open to your own group. Okay, each team member, okay, must choose or can choose, okay, any of the design between 25% increment and 25% reduction only in traffic category data. Okay, so what does this mean is when we look at the assignment data, okay, I do not know whether you all have gone through this data, okay, right? So what happened is, if let's say we take group 1A, for example, first of all, how do you get the traffic data, okay, the actual traffic data? The actual traffic data is very simple, okay? So group 1, as you know, CV1 is passengers car, CV2 is all these categories, okay? You know, if you do not know, please check your slides, okay, as well as the manual. So what happened is that for group 1A, in order for you to find out what is your actual CV1, category 1, you have to multiply by 0.75. Okay, 1889 times by 0.75. Okay, so again, all this the same. So this one, 180 times 1 means your answer should be 180 lah. Okay, so this is how you identify your traffic data based on the uh, given, okay, and then you multiply by the factor that is based on your own group. Okay, so if you multiply by 1889 multiply by 0.75, then you get an answer. Okay, so once you have obtained all the answers for each of the category based on the factor, multiplied factor, then you go back to this. Okay, so there are some of you, majority of you have 5% in the group. So you can decide yourself how many of you are going to do 25% increment or 25% reduction, and also the original traffic. Okay, the original traffic means that the one that you have calculated here, and those who are doing 25% increment, okay, means that this value, this value, this value, this value multiply by another 25%. So if increment means the original plus the 25% increment. So that is the new traffic data value. Okay, for example, this one 180 times by 1, so your value is 180, right? So 180, then you times by 25% increment. Okay, if you times by 25% increment, then you get about how many? You get about 45. So 45 plus 180, it becomes 225. So that is what I mean by increment of 25%. Okay. So if you're another group member, if you assign him or her to do the reduction of 25%, means that your 180 for group 1A lah, 1 times by the factor 1, so you get 180 actual category, actual traffic in that category. So if you have a reduction of 25%, means you are minusing 45. How do you get 45? Is 180 times by 25%. So you get 45. So then that person, the value for this category must be minus 45 lah, means 180 minus 45. So you get 135. So that is how you do your traffic data. The rest, you don't have to do any increment of 25% and so on and so forth. Just follow through whatever value that is given. For example, like CBR means you have 18 times by 1.05. This one and this one, these are all given for your rigid pavement, flexible pavement calculation, and also rigid pavement calculation. Okay. right? So once you have done that, okay, so once you have done that, okay, so those of you who are doing rigid pavement design, you use both equation and nomograph method. Okay, the equation and also equation and nomograph method. Nomograph is the one that we have discussed, okay, earlier on Tuesday, right? So the equation also is already given, so you input the equation and check with your nomograph. And this is another one, state clearly any assumption made, okay, from the flexible and rigid pavement. So one person has to do two design, one flexible, one rigid. So I expect if five of you means there are 10 design, okay? Five for rigid and five for flexible pavement. So these are some of the requirements, and also the nomograph. When you plot the nomograph, make sure that the plotted nomograph is included and under the appendix section. So this is the final part, which is a summary and major finding from the project. So from here, right, what is your conclusion? What is your company or your group conclusion? Right? Which one do you decide? Flexible or rigid? What makes you choose flexible or rigid pavement? And after that, what is your recommendation? What are your recommendation? So if you use a citation, especially citation here usually comes in your project background, okay, your explanation in your project background, and also some part of your discussion, okay, to support your discussion, to support the findings. Okay, you can add on to your references. So the references must be no more than 10 years, okay, preferably 2013 up to 2023 lah. And you must also have the reference section where it is based on alphabetical order. Okay, alphabetical order. So even in the text, okay, you only use your the order is, for example, if in the body of text your reference is for example Zion, Zion et al. For example, if Zion et al is Z. So in the reference list, it should be towards the last, even though you may cite it in the first page of or in your introduction. Okay, so your alphabetical order for the reference must be there lah. And try not to use too much website, for example, okay, because I know some of you may cite from website. It's fine to cite uh, from a reputable website. Okay, I know most of your seniors will cite from Pavement Interactive. So Pavement Interactive is one of the reputable site lah, which you can read through, and then you can also use some of the information there for your calculation or for your discussion. But nevertheless, um, you must also search for other references lah. Okay, right. And oh, sorry, for the first part, let me clarify again. The submission, okay, is Word file, no, not PDF. Sorry. So if you are using the nomograph and so on, if you need to scan, then you scan in your Word file. So compile it, and then the file name, I will inform again for the submission. Okay, as the file name, try to put your group number. Okay, group number, sorry, you put your file name skns3 for your group number. Okay, group number underscore, okay lah, never mind, later I put it in the edit. Okay, what type of file? It's only in Word file and only one person to submit. Okay, no need to have each and every single team member to submit. Right? So I think that's all, unless you have question. If you have question, you can open your mic and ask, or you can type in the chat. Okay. Ada soalan tak? Anyone? Ada soalan? Ke semua masih tidur, belum bangun lagi. Ada soalan. So I hope what I explained is clear for you to at least to start something. Okay, I know you guys are still busy with your PBL one and also other assignment, other projects as well as coming up. So yeah, you should try first lah. Okay, try first. Then after that, if you have question, then you can ask lah. Can ask. Please when you ask the question, use the WhatsApp lah. You can ask in the WhatsApp group. And brief why I ask you to ask the question in WhatsApp group because most of the time your questions may be the same question as what your friends are going to ask as well. So I think in order for me to answer multiple people, okay, I would suggest everyone to post up your question in the WhatsApp group so that I can try to answer as soon as possible, or I'll compile the questions and then I'll answer it together because generally it will be the same question. Okay. Other than it's not like geometric may your geometric PBL one may have a lot of different questions. Okay, but for pavement it's straightforward. Okay. So ada lagi, ada yang tanya, nak tanya lagi. So hopefully next week everyone will be able to go for class already lah. Okay. Unless necessary, I will inform that we do online class lah. Okay. So this week ada skip this one lah. So next week I hope we can meet up in the class. Okay, meet up in the class. And then next week we have another topic next week on economic. Okay, so I'll post up the slides for you before the class start lah. Okay. Right. Any other things? Anything else yang nak tanya? So for this PBL 2, okay, uh, it's the same format as your PBL 1. Please use the same format as your PBL 1, which you have your cover, okay, your cover and also rubric. Okay, please attach together the rubric inside your file, okay, so that it's easier for me to key in the mark inside your inside the rubrics itself straight away. Because I have also included the rubric for you in Ellipse. So please download that and then attach it together with your report as well. Okay. So first page is your cover. Page is your cover. Second page should be your rubrics. Yes, you need to have the discussion part as well. This part should be under this one as well. Okay, part 3 pavement design. Okay, every single part need other discussion. Yeah, you have to put in some discussion, especially like for example, like use the result, traffic data analysis. You do the calculation of the SR. So what is your finding? Okay, summarize your design and calculation. And the critical part for, uh, for all of you is this part lah. Okay, the discussion especially on the pavement design, flexible and rigid. What is your finding? And based on the five design, for example, each one of you will have 5 flexible design, 5 rigid design. So based on the 5 flexible design, what have you found? Okay, what is your finding there? What are the challenges? What are the assumptions? Okay? So these are some of the important discussion lah. And yeah, before I forget, when you design, okay, when you design, please sign, put your metric number and sign at the bottom right hand, bottom hand, sorry, bottom left hand. Okay, bottom left hand, please sign. Okay, means that you are the designer of that lah. Okay, for both your flexible and rigid. Okay, all the design, all the designs, calculation, and so on, you need to sign lah. Okay, put up a signature, and all of that should be put in the appendix lah as your calculation. So the main body, what is expected from the main body is the summary, of each and every one of your results. Right? For example, you can put up a table. Okay, person number one, what's the result? Person number two, what's the result? Number three, what's the result for flexible? And the same thing as rigid. So in the main body, you should not put all the calculation there lah. What I mean is, most of the time, your senior in the main body, they will insert also all the calculation inside. So it becomes very thick, and I have to flip over many pages before I reach the discussion. Okay, is it okay with you guys? So make sure all the result is put in appendix. The main body is a summary, okay, of your result, as well as the assumption that you made, and also the discussion lah. Okay. Main body di sini adalah di dalam report tu sendiri. Calculation dan sebagainya biasanya kita akan letak di appendix lah. Okay. Boleh. Dulunya saya dapat report dia, yang calculation tu dia letak sekali dalam part 3 ni juga sekali. Okay. So saya tak nak lah. Means that just try to do the summary, okay, of the results, okay, state your finding and the discussion, and then all the calculation part should be included as appendix. The nomograph, the calculation, okay. If you do by hand calculation, attach it in appendix. If you do by other methods, software ka, Excel ka, put it in the appendix section. Okay. Right. Hope that is clear. Ada lagi soalan nak tanya? Saya tahu banyak yang belum try. Just highlighting what are the key things here. So hopefully you can deliver it to your team members later on. Harap-harap semua yang datang ni, yang hadir pagi ni semua adalah wakil-wakil ni lah. Wakil-wakil apa? Wakil for the okay. Alright, kalau tak ada, I think that's all for today. Alright. So for today, I will show the QR code again lepas ni. If you have question, I'm still here. You can still ask until 9:30 lah kalau nak tanya. Something else you can ask. Okay. Kalau tak ada, I think that's all for me today. Thank you very much for joining us online today. Right. And let me just stop sharing this and I share the QR code. Okay. So yang dah scan tu boleh lah you can leave. Okay. Okay. Civil 1 first, then after that I'll move to Civil 2. Okay. Thank you very much. Enjoy your weekend. Busy weekend. Okay. Ada lagi yang tak scan? Which group yang perlu scan? Kalau letaklah dalam chat. Saya letak balik. QR, anyone? QR1. Civil 3. Okay, 3 coming. 3. Siapa yang dah ni boleh bertolak lah, ataupun nak, if you have other appointment in the morning, All right. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Possible 2 coming up. Welcome. Enjoy your weekend. Struggling weekend. So today you have more times to finish. Try to finish whatever you need to finish. Since we finished class early. So no more class after this. Welcome. Any more? Okay, Civil 1, Civil 2, Civil 3. Sekarang Civil 2. Ada yang saya terlepas, Civil 3. Ada lagi. Welcome. Thank you also buat bangun pagi awal-awal. Okay, Civil 3. Okay, any more? Okay, any more? Civil 1, 2, 3. Ada lagi? Okay, if no, then I will turn it off. Okay. Alright, in that case, no more. Then again, thank you very much for joining. Alright, see you when I see you just next week. Okay, bye bye.